Hey, Grace Harbor Church. This is Quinn, and today we're going through day, I think, 85 in Joshua chapters 8 through 11 or 12, depending on which reading guide you're looking at. But essentially, the people of Israel have crossed over after the 40 years, and there are two old men with them, Caleb and Joshua, who were the faithful spies. And we've seen all of the classic stories of Joshua with the victory in Jericho and the defeat in Ai, the victory in Ai, and then, taking care of business with some of the kings. However, we get to probably one of the biggest mistakes, and a pretty honest mistake. Although they made one mistake, they didn't, consult God and talk to God on this when they made treaty with the Gibeonites, who were very shrewd, and they were really smart. But we see that even God uses this for good, because what do the rest of the people in the promised land that they're conquering not like? They don't like that the Gibeonites made treaty with them and essentially became servants of Israel. And so all of the surrounding kings in the area would go out to go fight the Gibeonites. They're like, well, if you're not with me, you're my enemy. And so all the kings come out in the area, and God tells Joshua, I've given them into your hand. And so he marches up against them and takes care of business. And so even our failings, God makes the best of, oftentimes. And so takes care of business and takes care of all those kings. And many of those kings run and hide. They hide in a cave. And Joshua's like, let them be. We'll have men, we put a rock over the cave, and men guard it just to make sure they don't escape. And then they wipe out everybody else. And then they come back and kill those kings too. And then throw the corpses back in the cave and bury it naturally, right? That's the grave they picked. And then the rest, this is kind of the ending of the climax of Joshua, where they're conquering and they're conquering and they're conquering, and nothing can stop them. And then the rest of the book is pretty much Joshua in a very Moses-like fashion, just dividing up the spoils of the promised land to the tribes of Israel. The ones who didn't take their possession on the other side of the Jordan, which was Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh. So the rest of the tribes of Israel, now their possession is on this side, and that's what we'll see coming up here pretty soon. But it's just amazing to see how we've started in Genesis, and we've worked our way through Job and all the rest, and this is now book 7 or 8, depending on whether or not you count Psalm, which we've read a couple Psalms with some of the reading. But it's pretty amazing how much God has provided for these people despite their stumbling. And he does the same with us. We stumble, but he still blesses us far more than we could ever repay in 1,000 lifetimes. Our God is good, and the God of Israel is steadfast. And I just want to encourage you guys that even when things look bad and we mess up, our God is still far greater to us than we could ever be in our own righteousness. And so I'll end it with that. Love you, Grace Harbor family.